We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
More Biden gaffes, federal debt skyrockets, trouble in the job market, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. White House officials went into cleanup mode after President Biden delivered a gaffe-riddled speech to the NAACP in Detroit on Sunday, making a whopping 9 corrections to the formal transcript. The changes fixed both trips of Biden's tongue, such as calling Capitol rioters erectionists, and flagrant retellings of history, like claiming he was still vice president during the COVID-19 pandemic. He claimed to save Americans $800,000 per family in health care costs. The official transcript, released Monday, made no bones about the errors, with strike-throughs of Biden's mistakes and the corrected comments included in brackets. Biden made the mistakes despite the speech being on the teleprompter in front of him. Vulnerable Senate Democrats are distancing themselves from President Biden's ailing brand after polls show him trailing former President Trump in several battleground states. Democrats in tough races are breaking with Biden over border security, liquefied natural gas exports, the Israel-Hamas war, and tariffs on Chinese goods. Government debt that has swelled nearly 50% since the start of the Biden presidency is generating elevated levels of worry both on Wall Street and in Washington. The federal IOU is now at $34.5 trillion, or about $11 trillion higher than where it stood in March 2020. As a portion of the total U.S. economy, it is now more than 120%. Concern over such eye-popping numbers had been largely confined to partisan rancor on Capitol Hill, as well as from watchdogs like the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. However, in recent days, the chatter has spilled over into government and finance heavyweights, and even has one prominent Wall Street firm wondering if costs associated with the debt pose a significant risk to the stock market rally. In a series of interviews with Western outlets Tuesday, a frustrated Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged the U.S. and other NATO countries to shoot down Russian missiles in Ukrainian airspace and allow Ukraine to use Western weapons against targets inside Russia. The requests come as Ukraine's forces are stretched thin, struggling to defend against mounting Russian incursions. The new package of U.S. weapons is just now starting to arrive in Ukraine after months of delays. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched an undisclosed number of small spacecraft into orbit for the National Reconnaissance Office. The Falcon 9 lifted off from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California at 4 a.m. Eastern Time. The classified mission, designated NROL-146, was SpaceX's 52nd launch of the year and the Falcon 9's 5th launch for the NRO. After separation from the upper stage, the rocket's first stage, which flew its 16th mission, landed on a drone ship stationed in the Pacific Ocean. The class of 2024 is about to join a job market nearly as turbulent as their college years. Employers plan to hire 5.8% fewer new graduates than they did last year, according to a spring survey of 226 employers by the National Association of Colleges and Employers. And what those bosses want from entry-level workers is changing. Students and recruiters say from years of experience to sophisticated artificial intelligence skills. Some companies say AI is taking over part of the work fresh graduates used to do. It's just the latest challenge for the graduating seniors who began their studies with COVID-19 lockdowns and Zoom classes and finished them amid protests that disrupted campus life nationwide. Pixar has made the biggest staff cut of its history. The Disney-owned animation studio laid off 14% of its workforce, or 175 employees, as part of an effort to cut costs and refocus on quality over quantity, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The mandate comes from Disney CEO Bob Iger, who hopes to shepherd the Mouse House to its former glory after a period of churning out several underwhelming direct-to-streaming series and movies. Following the layoffs, Pixar plans to prioritize upcoming feature films like Inside Out 2 and Toy Story 5 over streaming. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.